The world of electricity generation is rapidly changing and diversifying, and to benefit from new global technologies, Bermuda needs a future plan. Enter the IRP, or Integrated Resource Plan. This forecasts the electricity demand and supply that Bermuda will likely face for the next 20 years and the various energy sources available to us. The Regulatory Authority of Bermuda manages the development of the IRP, following best practices from other countries. A public consultation invited alternative generation proposals from the private sector, and 8 proposals were received, 5 of them with informational videos that you're about to see.
Waves are a powerful way to channel energy of the sun and the wind. They work essentially 24/7, 365 days a year, so you actually don't need batteries.
The power of New York, instead of having that on land, you can put it in the water. That we can do with our technology.
Instead of using scarce and expensive land area,
we can put over generators in the water and produce energy for these big cities. It's a plus.
We have created a turnkey scalable system. We got experience from every aspect, from permitting and designing to manufacturing in our own factory to installing and connecting the system to the grid.
I think that's very important, actually.
It's just steel in the water. All you see is the buoys. There is no pollution, no toxin, no blades. The park is actually protected, so it becomes an artificial reef. So we can add design details that attract desired species.
There are very many differences in the different places that we have been operational, and put different demands on the engineers. And the more they have seen, the better it will be in the long run. So simplicity, robustness on the one hand, cost of material and engineering is on the other side, and you have to make this match.
Even at this early stage of commercialization, we can be priced competitively in many markets. Certainly where it's dependency on diesel, but really anywhere where there is 1 to 3 meters waves.
It's a huge opportunity for sea-based.
The people within sea-based, they live this wave ID.
I think it's a game changer, and everybody that wants to get into a game changer, they have the opportunity of being in sea-based.
One-third of the world does not have access to electricity. Almost 1 billion people don't have access to clean water. Many of the coal-fired power plants are more than 30 years old, and the average lifespan is 40 years. Both developed and underdeveloped countries face the same struggle. Getting clean water and dependable electrical power to everyone is difficult. Rolling brownouts leave communities frequently in the dark. Building water and power plants is expensive and takes time. But what if it didn't have to be that way? What if there was a solution that could deliver drinkable water and electricity quicker, easier, and cheaper? MODIC has developed that solution. With more than 30 years of experience in designing, building, and operating floating production systems for oil and gas industry clients, MODIC used its expertise and knowledge to create floating power and water systems. Imagine taking this and putting it on a vessel or barge, and building it all in 12 to 24 months. That's how MODIC plans to help its clients to deliver power and water to its citizens or customers. Floating plants are a cost-effective, environmentally friendly option, especially when considering that nearly half of the world's population lives within 60 kilometers from a coast. MODIC can design, build, and deliver floating power plants, floating desalination plants, or dual floating power and desalination plants. They use liquefied natural gas, also known as LNG, to produce electricity and clean water, either on a vessel moored at a jetty or in deep or shallow waters. All vessels have integrated LNG storage tanks and LNG offloading systems. LNG is the cleanest hydrocarbon source, and production is expected to increase by 50% in the next 5 years. The power is generated by a combined cycle gas turbine system, a highly efficient and cost-effective way to produce electricity. If the barge is moored at a jetty, generated power is sent directly to the grid via transmission lines. If the vessel is moored near shore, power is sent to shore via subsea power cables to a substation on shore, and from there to the grid. In the case of near-shore systems, the power is exported at up to 145 kilovolts at 50 or 60 hertz. Each subsea power cable can handle up to 100 megawatts. These floating solutions are more economical than onshore equivalents and require less permitting. Plus, they can be relocated and are simple and inexpensive to decommission. They provide a solution to your water and power challenges. MODIC's floating water and power solutions are offered for lease, sale, or on a build, own, operate, and transfer basis. No matter where you live, MODIC believes all communities should have access to clean drinking water and reliable electricity. The future is for everyone, and MODIC is proud to be delivering solutions that make a difference. FSRWP, the next generation water and power solution.
The Dominican Republic, with its population of 10 million residents and some 4 million tourists annually, is an economic powerhouse of the Caribbean. Wärtsilä has been active in the country since 1989. Today, its solutions provide reliable power to the grid, industrials, food producers, gold mines, and consumers. The very first order from Seaboard in the Dominican Republic was a power barge, the Estrella del Norte.
We started with power barges 23 years ago. We started with a small Estrella del Norte, which was first IPP in Dominican Republic. We were quite successful with that. We had quite good results. Then we decided to build another power barge, Estrella del Mar 1, which was built in 2000.
To date, Wärtsilä has a remarkable footprint of installed generating capacity in the country. With growing demand, even industrial consumers are reaching out to Wärtsilä for additional power generation and increased reliability. The latest power plant order to Wärtsilä is the Quisqueya power plant, with total output of 430 megawatts.
The mine needed to build a power plant, mainly because it's a large power consumer. The overall strategy in deciding to build a power plant, this one in particular, was to build it to ensure that we have reliable power to the mine.
Dominican Republic plant operators are opting for dual fuel engines to secure a stable power supply. Today, the power plants mainly use oil but will switch to gas once it becomes available. Liquefied natural gas will become one of the most important energy sources of the future.
The Wärtsilä 50DF dual fuel engines give us the flexibility of running either heavy fuel oil, which is what we're running today, or when natural gas becomes available here for us to use, we will be able to switch to natural gas or whatever other fuel comes available that meets our cost and environmental compliance needs.
Another customer benefiting from Wärtsilä's dual fuel technology is Los Orígenes. Its 59 megawatt power plant currently runs on LNG.
Cuando trabajamos con el gas natural, realmente ayudamos muchísimo al medio ambiente porque no contaminamos. Esa es la realidad. Los motores Wärtsilä, en sentido general, producen pocas emisiones al medio ambiente.
A good mix for the future in the Dominican Republic would be ideally a mix of renewable energies and gas engines, this to create a reliable and affordable grid.
Not only fuel options, but also novel solutions, such as Wärtsilä's FlexiCycle, a combined cycle solution that allows for a lower cost of energy by improving the efficiency of power plants.
Performance of this barge is excellent. We are very pleased with the numbers what we are getting. It's even better than Wärtsilä expected. We have in general over 98% of availability of the barge, what is enormously high. We never expected even during building the barge that we will have that much.
Flexibility is more than just about building technology. It is also about strong relationships with customers, about creating success together.
I've worked with several different manufacturers of equipment and turnkey projects, and Wärtsilä is definitely one of the best companies I've worked with. The Wärtsilä 50DF solution in the FlexiCycle combination, as we have here, has exceeded our expectations, and we're very pleased with what we've received.
Wärtsilä's solutions, innovative and smart, tailored for specific needs, taking flexibility one step further. Designed and built to meet the challenges of the Dominican Republic's changing energy landscape.
InViva was founded in 2004 to help major utilities improve the environmental profile of energy generation. InViva wood pellets directly replace coal in industrial-scale power plants, allowing plants to continue to operate while decreasing their dependence on fossil fuels and reducing their carbon footprint. By reliably providing customers throughout the world with an alternative to coal, InViva is part of a cleaner, greener, low-carbon energy future. Wood fiber is one of the world's greatest natural resources. The U.S. is home to more than 750 million acres of forest area. These forest volumes have increased since 1953. These tremendous working forests, which have underpinned the forest products industry for hundreds of years, are also home to InViva, the world's largest supplier of wood pellet fuel to utilities. A mixed stand of trees produces many different types of wood that go to different markets and have different values. When a forest owner decides to harvest a tract, it's done primarily with higher value timber in mind. The most valuable timber of all is wood that can be used for telephone poles. Saw timber, used to make lumber for construction, furniture, and other solid wood products, is next. Then come ply logs and chip and saw, which are used for other construction materials. Below that is pulpwood, tops, limbs, and small crooked or diseased wood fiber that have traditionally been used by the pulp and paper industry. Finally, there is the low-grade wood fiber that is left over, such as small tops, limbs, branches, and other wood residues. InViva only takes wood from the last two types, pulpwood and low-grade wood fiber.
Other submissions that did not include video were as follows. BCM McAlpine and Bourgeois Energy and Services propose a feasibility study examining a power plant using 3 possible fuels: oil, gas, or biomass. The plant would be located at Ships Wharf in St. George's. Bermuda Environment Energy Solutions Group Consortium, BEESG, propose a 55 megawatt dual-fuel bulk generation plant at Ships Wharf. Brad Sorensen and Arfian Inc. propose a 200 megawatt clean energy plant using hydrogen-based steam generation with water recovery. The proposal includes an underground grid and water supply system. The Regulatory Authority analyzes each proposal on its technical, economic, environmental, and social merits. Technologies will be considered for future power generation when the need arises. Technologies will only be introduced after thorough analysis by the Regulatory Authority. The IRP is reviewed up to every 5 years. It's a dynamic, long-term plan that is reviewed regularly to remain relevant. These proposals are open for public consultation until November 30th. Please visit our website for the details. Talk with others about the IRP and alternative electricity generation proposals. Email your response to electricity@rab.bm by November 30th.